Life's Journey DIY. I'm Chantel, and it is a sunny but cold day, and Chris and I are taking a drive to Baker City, Oregon to Dollar Tree. This is my favorite Dollar Tree store. It's a huge store. I'm hoping that they have Dollar Tree Plus now, but the website's not giving me a lot of hope of that. But we're going to see, and I'm also going to check and see what kind of items they have in for spring. So let's go check out the Dollar Tree in Baker City, Oregon.
So as you can see, this Dollar Tree store is huge. It used to be an old grocery store, and they just have so much inventory, and it's usually very neat as well. So they still have a lot of Valentine items out. So if you are needing to stock up on supplies, be sure you check Dollar Tree and see if your store still has Valentine's items out as well, because this store had a lot of them, but your store still might have some as well. Besides the party items, they still had a lot of crafting items, and they also had a lot of gift items that you could use to maybe put together a gift basket. Oh, and if you clicked on this video and you were expecting DIYs, be sure to keep watching because we will be doing some DIYs a little bit later. So here is what I'm really excited to see. They do have their spring items out. There are a lot of new wood crafting pieces for spring and for gardening and going on into summertime. And so be sure to check out your store to see if they have these new items as well. I really like these wood birdhouses. They have really pretty designs, and these little gnomes are very cute as well. And check out these wood bee and beehive pieces. These are new also. And it's not just the spring and summer crafting items they are getting in. They also have started to put out all of their gardening items too. These are cute little paint your own little pots. There's a watering can and a flower pot. Those would be so fun for a kid's Easter basket or even for like a kid's garden party. They are starting to get out their flower pots and potting supplies. I always like to stock up on the little terracotta pots because those are great for crafting, and usually once they're gone, they don't get those back. And I like some of their textured planters. These are really nice. And they have this new style that I really like as well. Oh, and these farmhouse style plastic pots are really cute too. I really like all of the bee themed items they have. Here they even have some more wire frames that you could use for wreaths for a beehive and a bee. And then they also have a carrot and a rainbow. and a rabbit. And speaking of rabbits, they are putting out Easter items as well. And so um, make sure that you are watching for those and get them early. If you see something you like, don't wait to get it. Make sure that you pick it up so that you don't miss out. This burlap craft fabric with the pastel designs is perfect for Easter projects. And if you're thinking, wait, what about St. Patrick's? Well, they have St. Patrick's items out as well. And I am really liking these galvanized shamrocks with the different shades of green. And they also have some monogram galvanized shamrocks. Those are new, I think. And I always like to check out the Crafters Square aisle in this store because they have a very well stocked Crafters Square section. And so let's see if we can find something new here. I'm seeing lots of chalkboard items. I'm seeing lots of unfinished wood plaques and signs. And also, I did spot some felt flower kits. I have not seen these before. They have them in several different styles and colors. And they also have some of those wood bead wreaths here as well. And this is a new item, these vinyl weeding scrap collectors. Definitely going to be picking up one of these. Oh my goodness. And I cannot believe what I am seeing. Look at all of these farmhouse items. This is amazing. And this is just a Dollar Tree store. This does not have a Dollar Tree Plus. It is all everything $1.25. And there are some really good sized signs and some really nice looking items here. So as you can see, these farmhouse signs just go on and on. There's so many styles and shapes that are cute the way they are, but could totally be remade into other uh, DIY projects, so the possibilities are endless. So I hope that you guys all get at least some of these in your stores because they are so cute. And just so you all know, I exercised a lot of restraint in this store today.
Oh my goodness, they had so much stuff in that Dollar Tree that I probably took a little longer than I should. Chris was waiting for me in the car, but he just reads his book, so he's fine, right?
Yep.
We're gonna head home. I'll show you what I got, and we'll do a few DIYs. Well, we are back home now. It was a really nice drive. We had a nice lunch together, and I could not believe the new items I found at this Dollar Tree. There were lots of new crafting items as well as a lot of farmhouse decor things. So I'm really excited to show those to you. I did pick up a few more things that I had intended to, because as I had said in the new year, I was going to try and use up more of my stash and limit what I buy at Dollar Tree. However, I did pick up some extra items today because I want to put some of them in my Dollar Tree mystery box that I give away every month. And so if you don't know what that is, every month I give away a mystery box full of Dollar Tree items that I think might be hard for you guys to find and that you might want. And I just pick a comment randomly from my Dollar Tree haul video. So if you want to enter to win the mystery box for this month, make sure you leave me a comment on this video, and then next month in my Dollar Tree haul video, I will be drawing a random winner for that and sending you a box of Dollar Tree goodies.
And the winner of last month's box is Tracy Payne. Congratulations, Tracy. You got a box that'll be coming your way.
So now let me show you what I picked up, and then we'll be doing a few DIYs. I only picked up a couple of Valentine's things, and one of them was this package of grapevine hearts. There are 5 in a package, and I opened it up so I could show you what they look like, but I think these are really cute and will be fun to DIY with, and even to use for just other generic decor, not necessarily Valentine's. The other thing I picked up that could be classified Valentine's are these little hearts, and they call these just decor. So they don't really have a name, but I thought they were really fun. And again, you could use them for other DIYs, not necessarily just for Valentine's. I did pick up a couple of items for Easter, and they could also just be used for spring, but I did pick up these little wood rounds that have the wood half beads around them, the tulip, and also the rabbit. I also picked up some of these wood eggs. There are 10 in the small egg package and 8 in the larger egg package, and I just picked those up for some DIYs. Then also for Easter, I picked up this package of laser wood words that say rejoice, and there are 3 to a package, and I like to do some religious or inspirational DIYs for Easter, and so these will be great for that. Moving on to some spring and summer items, I did pick up these little signs with the little spade that says welcome, the little pitchfork that says garden, and the rake that says bloom. And I do have an idea of something I want to do with these. I just think those are really cute.
I grabbed this little wood birdhouse. I think that is just a really pretty, nice sized birdhouse. And then I got this galvanized little birdhouse as well. I did pick up a couple of these wood welcome signs for gardening. I thought their new garden items were so neat. Some other gardening or summer crafting items I picked up were these little beaded garlands with the watering cans. I thought those were really cute. I also got some little mini flower pots that are wood, and some little craft shapes. There's 6 to a package that have the picket fence and the flowers, as well as this little packet that has watering cans and flowers and flower pots, and there's 24 in this package. I couldn't pass up these flower pots with this design. I think this is so pretty. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave them these colors or maybe paint them, but I love the design, and since it is a raised design, it will be easy to paint and retain that design. I saw they had the wood curl roses, so I did pick up some of those. And I did pick up 4 of these little DIY letter boards because I am going to put them together to make a larger board, and we will be doing that at the end of this video, so be sure to stay tuned. I thought this little sign was cute, so I got that. And then I also picked up this wood round that says welcome with the black and white bow, and I think I can just dress this up, maybe add it to something else, and just really make that super cute. I mean, it's cute the way it is, but it is a little bit plain, so probably I'm going to dress that up a little. I also picked up these little house beaded, what do you call these? I never know what to call these. They just call them decor. I guess that's what they are. But it's just a little beaded strand with a galvanized house shape on the end. And so I got a couple of those. And I picked up a couple of the wood tags with the beaded strand on them as well. I liked this sign. It has the 3 sections held together by twine, and it has the grooves like shiplap already in it, so I can paint it, and that will be really easy to have that shiplap look and to embellish it and make it into a really pretty decor piece. I picked up a couple of these wall hooks. I thought these were really cute. And I got a couple of these chalkboard houses. These are kind of a new style. They're a little bit more sturdy than the previous ones that they had, and they had them in the natural frame and the white frame. I also picked up these wood pieces. They had them in 4 different styles, and I picked up one of each style. They had love, gather, home, and family, and I have a few ideas for some DIYs for these. I found the Farmhouse rub-on transfers, so I picked up some of these. I actually have some already, so spoiler alert, these will be going in my Dollar Tree mystery box. I also found this Farmhouse stencil that I thought would be nice to have to use on various projects. When I see these metal garden hooks, I like to pick them up. I like to have them on hand. They're great for hanging different things up in the garage, or they're great for hanging in your closet to hang purses and belts and things on. So last but certainly not least is this vinyl weeding scrap collector, and I actually had one of these on my Amazon wish list for Christmas. I didn't get it. I think it was like $14. So when I saw this at Dollar Tree, I definitely wanted to try it. So it just suctions to your table. And then as you are weeding your vinyl, the little pieces that stick to your weeding tool, you can just wipe them in and they'll stick inside of this instead of trying to pick them off with your fingers and having them stick to your nails and your fingertips. It's supposed to be much easier to use one of these. So I'm really excited to give that a try. So here is everything from my Dollar Tree haul today from the Baker City, Oregon Dollar Tree. And I will be including some of these items in my Dollar Tree mystery box that I'll be giving away. So make sure you leave a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, as well as make sure you're subscribed so you can see lots more DIY projects. And speaking of DIYs, let's jump in and do a couple.
For this project, I will be using this shelf from Dollar Tree, and you could use any style shelf and basically do the same thing that I'll be doing in this DIY. I'll also be using this set of home letters that I got at Dollar Tree today. I'll be using a few of these tumbling tower blocks, but you can use just some other little wood blocks instead if you don't have the tumbling tower blocks. And then I'm going to be using some linen white chalk paint, and I'm going to start my project just by painting the front of my home letters using that paint. It's really only necessary to paint the fronts of these, but if you like to have it completely finished, then go ahead and paint the front and the back. After my paint is dry, I am going to take a little bit of black chalk paint and I'm going to use a dry brush and just a very tiny little bit of paint and just lightly brush onto these. Dry brushing this just gives it that worn, aged look and adds a little bit of texture to it. Now I'm going to take my shelf and just raise up those side wires that are used to hang the shelf. And along the back edge of the shelf, I'm going to take some of these tumbling tower blocks and just line them up, and I'm going to glue them flush with the back of the shelf. And I am making sure that my blocks are not longer than my word is going to be because you don't want them to show. So they are just going to be an extra support to help glue these letters to so that they'll stand up. And I'm just using a little bit of hot glue on this. These letters are so light that there's not going to be a lot of pressure on this, so hot glue is more than adequate for this. Now that I have my blocks glued on, I am going to glue my letters to those blocks, and I'm again just using a little bit of hot glue, and you do want to maybe kind of lay these out prior to gluing them down. So you know I got mine a little off and I ended up having to overlap my H letter just a little bit. Honestly, I kind of like the way it looked overlapped, and I kind of wish I had overlapped a couple of them. But, you know, live and learn. So you might want to do that if you make this as well. This was such an easy project, and I really love how it turned out. In fact, I might make a couple of these to make a set, but I am just really happy with this. Next, I'm going to be making a large letter board using these small DIY letter boards from Dollar Tree, and I will be using 4 of these. I'm also going to use one of these Dollar Tree wall art pieces. They carry these usually for all of the different seasons, so you want it to have this open back because we're going to use it as a tray. And then I'm going to use some type of rub-on transfer. I'm not exactly sure which one, but I will use some rub-on transfers. The paint I'm going to be using is this Chiffon Cream Chalk Paint by Rust-Oleum. I picked this up at Walmart, and you can use any paint that you like. I'll also be using some wood glue and a little bit of jute twine. I'm going to start by prepping my little letterboard signs. So I'll remove them from the packaging, and I will also be removing the hanger off of each of the signs. And they do come with the letter sets. They're kind of a heavy paper, and so I'm just going to set those aside for now, and I'll remove the hangers off of all of my signs. Now these were stapled on, and at first I thought I was going to try and remove the staples, but they were in there pretty tight, so I just decided to cut the twine off really close to the staples. I don't think that that's going to make a difference. And then I'm going to use my super glue wood glue, and this is from Dollar Tree, and this works really well. I really like this wood glue. And so I'm going to glue these 2 signs together, and you want to make sure that your tracks are running the same direction and that you get them lined up evenly. And so I'll put some wood glue on here, and then I'm also going to add just a little bit of hot glue and then press those together quickly so that your hot glue doesn't leave a space for your seam. You want that seam to be as close and as tight as possible. Then I'm going to repeat that using my other 2 little letter boards, and just the same process, gluing them together with some of the wood glue and hot glue. Once the hot glue has set up on those, then I'm going to glue the 2 pieces that I have now together so that I have 4 pieces glued all together. And like I said, you want to make sure everything's lined up nice and neat because you want this just to look like it's one single piece. And again, once the hot glue is set up enough to turn this over, I am going to, on the reverse side, just add some craft sticks over some of the seams just to reinforce it a little bit and help hold everything together. And I am using a generous amount of hot glue, and I am also, since the seam that is horizontal here is not flush, I decided to put my craft sticks over it perpendicular just to kind of help hold everything together. So now I'm going to set my letterboard aside, and I'm going to use this little wall art piece. I'm going to remove that little hanger that's just glued in there. It just pops right off. And then I am going to paint this entire thing using my chalk paint in the chiffon cream. I actually paint all of it except one of the long sides, and that's because I'm going to be using that side to glue to my letterboard. It did take a couple of coats of paint to cover the design on this, and so I just made sure I let it dry completely in between each coat. So I decided I wanted to use these leaf designs from this rub-on transfer sheet. So I'm going to cut out the designs that I will be using, and kind of decide where I want to place them. And I actually decided before putting these on, I want to dry brush a little bit of brown paint onto this. So I'm going to go ahead and do that before I put my transfers on. So once the paint is dry, then I am going to reposition my rub-on transfers, and I'm using a Cricut scraping or burnishing tool to rub those on, and then I'll just pull off that film and it leaves the transfer on there. Now, a couple of things that I learned about this is that you want to make sure, first of all, your paint is completely dry. And I believe it would be good to seal the paint and let that completely dry also, because I had trouble with my transfers actually wanting to peel the paint off of my project and not sticking, and my transfers weren't sticking to it. It actually comes out great in the end, and I'll show you that, but it might make it easier for you if you make sure that you have your paint completely dry and maybe seal it with a matte sealer. So with mine, as I was peeling up the transfer film, some of the paint was coming up and some of the transfer was staying on the film. And actually, it gave it a real kind of old world look, a real antique look. And I liked that. So the only thing I had to do is where it pulled my um, white paint or my chiffon cream paint up, I did have to touch that up. So I just took a paintbrush and a little bit of paint and touched that up. And then I also used a paintbrush with a little bit of green paint to fill in some of the leaves that didn't stick down. Then, because I liked the vintage look of where it hadn't actually transferred properly, I took a scraper tool and I scraped off a little bit of the transfer on the ones that actually transferred correctly because I wanted it to match and have that vintage or kind of old world look. So, like I said, it turned out okay, and it just depends on the look that you want. So now I'm going to take my letter board and I am going to be gluing my little tray that I made to the bottom of this board, and it fits perfectly in that bottom track where you would actually put letters. It just fits perfectly. So I am using a ruler to measure and make sure that I get it centered. And then I am using that wood glue to glue this to the letter board. And of course, I also add a little bit of hot glue just so that will stick it down right away while the wood glue is drying, and I can continue working on my project. So to finish this off, I'm going to add a jute twine hanger to it. And because it is fairly heavy, I decided I didn't want to just glue my hanger on. So I will be using my um, staple gun to staple this on. And I'll use a couple of staples on each side. And that will just ensure that it is nice and sturdy and it's not going to fall down. Next, I'm going to take my sheets of letters and just pull those apart, and they can be stored in that tray so I always know where they're at, and then I can put different sayings on this sign. I hope you enjoyed this Dollar Tree shop with me and haul, as well as these 2 DIY projects. If you did like this video, please hit that like button. It really helps my channel. Also, if you haven't subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the bell to set your notifications so that YouTube will notify you every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a blessed day.